Welcome back to Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. Today, AC will be covering the Ironmaster Ultimate Row Handle, Dip Bars, and Pec Dec for the IM2000. Take it away, AC.
Good help is getting really hard to find. Anyway, on with the rest of the review.
Check out my latest Ironmaster reviews, which will be linked in the playlist at the end of this video.
Here's the Ironmaster Ultimate Row Handle. Another very good packing job by Ironmaster. The welds look pretty good. Here's an inside look at the handle and the pull knob. The handles give you the option for a pronated, supinated, or neutral grip.
The Ultimate Row Handle comes in at $145. It's chrome-plated steel, weighing 10 pounds and measuring 37 inches long. It is angled at 15 degrees with 8 adjustment holes in 2-inch increments. It's really easy to adjust the handles, and they feel secure when tightened with the locking pin. Also, the handles can be removed and flipped for a different orientation. Both grips are knurled. The neutral grip is 5 inches long, and the standard grip is 5 1/4 inches long. Both are 1 1/4 inch diameter, with 1 5/8 inch between the standard grip and the square tubing.
I put together a training montage showing many of the exercises that you can do with the Ultimate Row Handle. Check it out. Because of its adjustability and versatility, the Ultimate Row Handle is excellent for pull down and row variations. However, I think a lot of people are most interested in this attachment because you can perform pec flies and chest presses on a single pulley. First, my chain carabiner and handle configuration is just stuff that I had laying around the house. Ironmaster does sell an add-on, but for me, this measures 28 inches in length. And it's not like one hand can dominate the movement, so it's a little bit like a functional trainer in that sense. So when you're doing chest presses or pec flies, both arms and both pecs get an equal amount of stimulation. For chest presses and pec flies, you may be wondering if there's a weak point in the movement, and I can say for chest presses, it really doesn't feel like there is. However, for pec flies, as the handles get closer together, the amount of tension decreases. So here it's very tough, here it's still very tough, and here it starts to get a little bit easier, but here I can still feel tension on the pecs.
The bar's 15-degree angle makes it possible to do chest presses and pec flies without the bar hitting your back, and the bar has a load rating of 250 pounds for cable use and 350 pounds for Olympic bar use.
The Ultimate Row Handle is great for pull down and row variations, and it can be used for so much more. And way back in the day when all I had was a high-low pulley and a power rack, I would have found this piece invaluable to my training. Here are the dip handles for the IM2000. This is a pretty big and heavy box for a couple of handles. And I put a 40-pound dumbbell back there just to give you some perspective as to how big these handles are. These dip handles are very nicely made and they feel very heavy duty. You have the Ironmaster logo on each of the end caps, and the neoprene grip gives you a little bit of cushion. The dip handles for the IM2000 are extremely well made. They have a 400-pound weight capacity. However, they do have their limitations. First, I would like to be able to attach these to the IM2000, connect to the lower pulley, and do weighted dips using the resistance of the IM2000. But these handles attach to the sliding rail and then to the bar of the IM2000, which eliminates the possibility of using the lower pulley for resistance. For comparison's sake, here's the Superbench Pro dip attachment compared to the dip handles for the IM2000. These are 17 inches long, and with their tapered design, they go from 29 inches to 22 inches. For the stop and go dip that I like to do, so that I can get a full range of motion, I need to raise these dip handles 2 notches, and they're very easy to get out. And I'm going to take the bar from 15 to 13 on the IM2000. The dip handles go back in very easily. And now I can get that full range of motion with my dip. However, my head hits the pulley.
The dip handles come in at $114. They are 1 5/8 inch diameter. Some may prefer knurled metal bars rather than neoprene grips, and I would like to see some UHMW on the inside of the handle. If you don't mind doing bent leg dips, the dip handles are a great addition to the IM2000. The dip handles also work great for neutral grip rack chins, and neutral grip pull-ups, and neutral grip push-ups.
Here is the Ironmaster Pec Dec for the IM2000. It's a fairly large box that weighs about 40 pounds. It traveled 3,000 miles in less than a week via UPS. Everything looks great inside of the box. Another excellent packing job. The back pad feels durable. It has a decent amount of grip, and it's fairly dense. And here's everything outside of the box. Looks pretty straightforward. The first order of business is to remove the 2 original bolts that go into the IM2000, put on this bearing housing, and then replace it with 2 longer bolts. The next thing I did was attach each arm with the bolts that are provided. Next, I put on the back pad support tube using the existing bolts for the IM2000. I know this might sound crazy, but this is my idea of a fun Saturday night. I really enjoy putting together and figuring out how to put together strength training equipment. So this cable goes up and down between those 2 pulley wheels, and then you use a carabiner to connect this cable to an additional cable that runs into both of those arms. How long does it take to set up? Let's find out. First, I connect this cable to the arms. And if you wanted to, you could leave this cable connected at all times. It would just dangle down along the spine of the machine. And then there's a second cable with a hook on the end. And this cable is run up over the first pulley and down behind that first pulley. And I'll connect this cable to the cable that's on the spine of the machine. And then this hook goes down, latches onto the bar, which is locked in place and unloaded. And now the Pec Dec is set up. That took 45 seconds.
The bearing housing is 74.5 inches high. The forearm pads are 11.5 inches long with a circumference of 12.5 inches, and the back pad is 26 3/4 of an inch by 10 1/4 inches.
At the moment, I have the backrest 22 inches away from the wall, which allows me to do a bent arm pec fly. However, I like to perform a pec fly with my arms nearly straight, and this requires the backrest to be 30 inches from the wall. I turned the IM2000 around so you could see the Pec Dec a little more easily. At my height of 5'9", here's what it looks like to use the Pec Dec. I also have the option to crouch down and use it this way, or elevate myself and use it this way. If I was 6'3" or taller, I would probably have to crouch down so that my head wouldn't hit this part of the frame. And if I was 5'2", 5'3", or shorter, I would have to elevate myself by standing on some type of a platform so that my arms could make contact with these roller pads. The IM2000 has a 1-to-1 pulley ratio. The Pec Dec has a 2-to-1 pulley ratio. Right now I have 90 pounds on the Smith bar, and this feels smooth and effective, and the strength curve is pretty consistent throughout. I have tension at the beginning, middle, and end. I can tell right here where those cables are making contact with the half cams above my head. If you have the band pegs for the IM2000, you can make the Pec Dec a banded exercise. Because the bar sits so close to the ground, it's difficult to start with a lot of tension in the beginning of the movement, but as the pads get closer together, the tension increases considerably. The Pec Dec really can't be used for rear delts unless you do one arm at a time, and even then, it lacks a full range of motion.
It will be difficult to quickly superset the Pec Dec with other exercises on the IM2000, but I really like standing to use the Pec Dec, and I like eliminating the need to grip a handle, which can be helpful during an episode of elbow tendonitis. Of course, this doesn't feel like a multi-$1,000 commercial grade Pec Dec, but I am impressed by how smooth and effective it is, especially for a relatively inexpensive attachment.
If Ironmaster ever updates the IM2000, I'd like to see some updates for the Pec Dec as well. First off, I would like to see these cables housed in the machine, which could make it a little bit easier to connect and disconnect from the Smith bar. I would like for these arms to be adjustable so that you could do rear delt exercises on them. I would like for these foam pads to be covered in vinyl or leather. But for $359 and a weight capacity of 350 pounds, this is a pretty good machine. It doesn't take up a lot of space, it's rather inexpensive compared to other Pec machines, and it does feel pretty effective. Thank you all so much for watching. If you found anything in this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. I will be doing a part 2 where I cover the Ironmaster calf block, as well as the Ironmaster Ultimate Pull-Up Bar and Ironmaster Leg Press Attachment for the IM2000. I'm also an Ironmaster affiliate, so if any of my videos have helped you, please consider using my affiliate link at no additional cost to you. I'm also on Instagram at Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. Take care, everyone.